Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is beginning of the month for December Tarot Oracle reading. Virgo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Virgo, we still all have a little bit of Virgo in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Virgo in? This is where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. I've already shuffled and washed the cards. I'm just going to give them a little quick shuffle there and cut them. And we will begin the reading with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And there we have it. So this is the Six of Swords. We are rowing off to calmer waters with God at the helm. Well, the swords are at the helm, but God is guiding us. This is the rough waters, and these are the calm waters. This card means that at this time, whatever's going on, you need to dig deep. That is represented by this pole here. He's using that pole to push the boat along. So that tells us that this is probably quite shallow water, but it between the rough at this shore and then going across to the calmer. And you can see that there's an adult and a child in the boat here, and they don't have any luggage other than all the swords. So this can represent overthinking, mental activity. We'll see. Okay, so this next card represents the underlying energy for the bottom part of my spread, and this is the sign of courage. So yes, something clearly has gone on here, and it's taking courage for this person to decide, okay, I'm going to take my child and I'm going to go to a distant shore here. And we can see this because this is a young woman. She's reaching her hand into the lion's mouth. You notice the lion is submissive. The lion represents the fears that we have quite often from our childhood. And the infinity sign on top of her head talks about getting through those fears and being able to reach deep and be able to empower ourselves to move forward. So the first card, we've got the Five of Swords. So this is talking about, I keep getting this is like overthinking and like a lot of mental activity. And here we have the Five of Swords, which is talking about there's clearly been a battle here, and it could be this inner battle because this card can represent the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. And the subconscious mind is the thoughts we've held since we were born till about the age of 7. And really, most of us can't really remember our childhood that well. And so the thoughts belong to the people who were in charge of our care. And as you can see, the water is really rough here. So this feels like it was a rough childhood. It wasn't a calm childhood. And we have the unconscious, which is the spiritual and religious matters behind this. I'm picking up some religious issues. And then we also have the conscious mind, which you're aware of. This card also represents potential and manifestation abilities, because this card, if you look at it, it kind of represents the way nature counts. Like sometimes when we're in a situation like this, we may be always in like an uphill battle where, we're one step forward and 2 steps back. And in nature, when nature wants to manifest, nature, one counts differently than we do. 1 + 2 = 3. And then 3 reaches back into the past for 2, and we have 5. So what it's saying is, don't be too discouraged here, because life is a dance, not a march. And so you're not, in anyone's life, you're never just going to be marching forward and never having to take a step back once in a while, or, and that it's way more fun than marching through life if you can dance through it. So even when you have a lot of difficulties, which feels like that's the way. And what I'm working on right now are the internal dynamics and the boundaries within yourself. This is the energy of laying awake at night and asking, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if I get on this boat? What if I don't get on this boat? And one thing I'm also noticing is we have 2 swords here, and we also have 2 in his hand here. So we'll see what that's about. Okay, so the next card out is the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is sitting on her throne, and she is looking at the pentacles. So this, it feels like this energy is maybe worry over money and having to make a change. So the Pentacle, the Queen of Pentacles is known for being able to make quality instead of quantity. That's what she prefers, is quality. Everything she does is quality, and it comes from her ability to be able to take what seems like nothing to other people and make it work. So she's known for her ability to stay positive in hard times and be able to find a way to, feed the family, to whatever, that kind of energy, to be able to stay in business, that, if it's regarding business, to be able to keep, if she loses one job, that she would get another job energy. She understands her value. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So that's an interesting, this is like a couple. The King and Queen of Pentacles are generally a couple that are rather traditional. They are both focused on the money. So out of all the relationships between 2 king and queen in the same suit, this one's perhaps what some people would consider the most boring. And the one thing that you have to recognize about this couple is if they both are very centered on the dollar, so the money may be their first love, and or they could be in the financial career, they could be like someone that is working for a bank. Generally, like if a King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles show up there in very high positions in the bank, they could be someone like that's a financial advisors, mortgage brokers, that kind of energy. Someone that, has been trusted with a lot of money. Not necessarily that they have a lot of money, though, and that's kind of the energy I'm picking up. It's really funny, but a lot of times people who deal with money, like in banks and that, are the ones that have the most difficulty when it comes to their own finances. And that it quite often is because they're surrounded by money, and so, but that's not the energy of the Queen and King so much. So we'll see. They're focused on the dollar, though. And if these 2, like what's coming up, if let's say, because there's 2 swords here and there's 2 swords here, if these 2 are thinking about separating, there could be a battle over all the money, is what I'm picking up. Oh, but the Sun comes out. So the Sun is the happiest card in the deck. So perhaps that's not the case here, which is cool. And they are, because the Sun shines its light on everything. And the Sun represents God. It represents the Most High. So there's a small child here, and it's riding a pony. This could, what's coming up here for me is there could be a concern over a child. Perhaps a child is sick, or there's a pregnancy and something is like, there's some worry or concern there. This could be a couple that wasn't able to have children and now they have an opportunity to adopt. They've been saving up their money so that they would be able to. They may have tried, several attempts in different ways, and now they've decided to go that route. I'm getting some sort of energy about that. Okay, and we have the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, I feel like the 4 of Pentacles certainly isn't as much money as you would expect the King and the Queen to have. Perhaps they have spent a lot of money trying to have a baby, or spent a lot of money to adopt a child. something like that. Or if this is regarding a business, and that keep in mind that the queens and the kings, these are, well, all of the cards in a tarot oracle, they are archetypes. So the queen could actually be a female or a male in their feminine energy, and the king could be a male or a female in their masculine energy. And this also could just be one person that has the qualities of the king and the queen within themselves, and they're perhaps getting over this whatever happened to in their childhood, or whatever is happening with their child. And there's so much concern and worry about it that they've rode off to calmer shores to be with God, and here God shows up, and God is like reinforcing that this represents having a strong foundation. And so this could speak about several things. They could have a child who's very sick, and they've had to spend a lot of money traveling and being able to doctor, that kind of energy. I'm just picking up some sort of something like that. But this card is saying that, God is here with your child, if that's the case, and you have a strong foundation. You're going to get through this. I'm getting that, it's some concern over a child, or someone's concern over a marriage or a partnership. This could be about a business also. So the child could be, because we don't have any cups here. The child could be a business that's, is suffering right now for some reason, or it could be also something like an event that happened in the world that was out of their control, that has changed things significantly for them financially. We'll see. But here comes God again. See, it always pays to consult with God if you're in a trying position. And the God and the universe are giving them a reward. And this is a reward of pentacles. This is health, wealth, and happiness. So the universe is stepping in and handing you, or whoever you are out there. This is a general reading for the sign of Virgo. Virgo's at the age where the energy is that of young adults, and still not 100% grown up, still working on their foundation. And so the Virgo energy is about, Virgo energy is like wanting things to be really clean and in order, and being in a place where there's no surprises, really. Virgo likes things to be in order. But God likes things to be in order also. So this is saying, whatever is going on here, that don't worry so much. The God and the universe are with you, and this reward is for health, wealth, and happiness. The pentacle does represent money and coins, but it also represents like fulfillment in every way. And so this is the internal forces that keep you up at night, saying, what if this happens? What if that happens? And this is about, I'm just getting that this, whatever has happened, has shaken your self-identity or image, or if it's like a marriage here, it's shaken the marriage up. And then we have, this is about abundance and self-worth, and it's kind of saying that, okay, there's been some trouble here, but we know that we have the ability to be able to produce. We've been successful in the past. We can be successful again. We'll focus on what we have, and we will work with that, and we'll move forward, and we will succeed and get the money back, or have and this is coming up again. Your early life, your communication with how you communicate with yourself from your early life, and that kind of energy of the inner child. And then we have the sun coming out, and this is all about your emotional foundation. So I'm getting that the child, it's not that, I'm getting in this case, it wasn't that your childhood was so rough. Maybe it was so good, and now you're finding life so rough. You know, so you have this strong foundation. You know things can be really good. You know, and it maybe came as a real downer, like a real surprise, like a real shock to the system that something this horrible could happen to you and your family. It's coming up like a tornado or a flood or a hurricane came through, something that is totally out of your control. But what this is saying is that you do have the ability to use the money that you do have left from this disaster or whatever it is, and you will be able to overcome this because you have been successful before. And then this is all about making sure you have strong daily routines too, and habits, like making sure that you know, your daily habits support your health, wealth, and happiness, and continue, you know, to keep going. And we'll see what this is about some more. The next card will be the underlying energy. Okay, so this is the underlying energy for the next part. So the next part of this reading is the external forces. These are the things that you don't really have control over. They come from outside of you, and this is about whether or not you react or you respond. And the energy of the Page of Cups is some sort of information came in. And this is a cup, so it's about something or someone you love. And there's a fish in the cup, and he's studying that fish. And it's like, this is something totally, like it's something that's you've never dealt with before. And because the cup represents love, and the fish inside the cup is, you know, it's out of the water. You see there. So it feels like trying to separate your emotions from your logic, trying to get like neutral to the situation so that you know what to do next. That's the energy that I'm getting, like just kind of being in shock almost, like this, like a fish. If you take a fish out of water, then you know, it's going to be gasping for air. And the fish, right, like kind of represents the energy of humanity on a larger scale, of this energy of when you're just almost like the marrying age, like at that kind of age, or just finished your, you know, schooling, like in university, or you just got your ticket if you're a contractor, a plumber, or an electrician, or something like that. And then there was a big change that's out of your control, and things aren't going the way you thought. And or it could be about a child, someone in your family having an issue that's come up. And because the fish represents the age of Pisces, and the air that it's breathing represents the change we made back in around 2020, which is also, you know, a lot of people went through a lot of changes in 2020 with COVID. And so this is, that energy may have really changed your position. And so it's kind of like moving into the age of Aquarius is like being like a fish out of water, you know, so this is saying, breathe. You know, you are courageous enough, you will get through this. And then the next card we have is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is visionary, is looking forward. This is about, okay, you're here, you have recognized, okay, perhaps you've reached the other shore now, and that could be the shore of your mental capacity to understand. You're out of shock. You know what action you need to take. You've looked into it. The King of Wands is holding the wand, and this wand represents forward action. You can see he's looking into the distance, and you can just see by his body language, he's ready to get up at any second and do what needs to be done. He just has to I feel like this is waiting for the right moment, or waiting for some communication to come in, because the Page of Cups is bringing in communication. And it has to do with love, romance, or it has to do with something you love or someone you love, your family, something like that I'm getting. So we will see. And this, what we're working on here, again, is the external forces that come in. This is when you're laying in bed at night and saying, what the EF? So I feel like, yeah, something, bang, just sort of hit. And then we have the Queen of Swords coming in. There's a lot of energy, like this back and forth kind of energy of, okay, action and thinking, action and thinking. So, but the Queen of Swords represents, she's on her throne. And you notice she's looking directly at the King of Wands. So if this, and we have the King and Queen of Pentacles here. So all of these, this royalty that's here, this could be one couple and this is another couple. So that, like, this could be something to do with family. This is one of the couples in the family, and you know, these are another, like it could be a brother or a sister that married, and this is the in-laws. I was gonna say outlaws, but it's in-laws. So this Queen of Swords is with the King of Wands, and this energy is like the Queen is looking directly at him. And whatever action he takes, it better, her head's out of the clouds. She's not thinking anymore. She's moving forward. She's ready to receive here. But she's also got her sword out. And she's like, if what you have come up with here, I'm going to cut right through it. All the bullshit here. My head's above the clouds. I'm very clear now. And if the action that you want to take is not acceptable to me, I will not be taking that action with you. And you see on the swords in like the face cards, there's these little birds in the background, and you'll see that sometimes there's a flock, sometimes there's 2 or 3, but here there's only one. So the Queen of Swords says the action that you take now had better be in alignment with what I want, or I'm cutting through it and I'm not going to, I will not participate in it. So, and it's interesting because these could be qualities, this is like you've got a King of Pentacles, a Queen of Pentacles, and you've got a King of Wands who's willing to take action, and a Queen of Swords who's thinking and who feels like she has clarity now. This could all be wrapped up into one person, qualities within yourself, or someone or someone that, like it could be this couple has suffered whatever this is because of this couple's actions. It's interesting. Could be a partnership in a business. It could be like some sort of family dynamic, that kind of energy. And then we have being left out in the cold. Yeah, this is really feeling like someone's been left out in the cold because of someone else's actions. Whatever the actions were here are affecting, the actions that this couple took have had a horrible effect on this couple. And God is with this couple because, and is now handing in this reward to them because of what this couple did. And it feels like it could be community or it could be the larger family, but this couple has been left out in the cold. And this couple feels like it's tactics that were used against this couple that's caused them these issues. That's really interesting. Sometimes this card represents, there's 2 people that are left out in the cold, and they, one's been crippled and the other one has been, is like they're traveling together, but they're both in rough shape. One of them's wearing a bell, which is like in the old days when you had the plague, you would have to wear a bell so people could hear you coming. So this could be ruining someone's reputation, you know, making a move that would cause this couple to really have a lot of hardship. It could be, I'm just getting, it can also represent someone who's been in an accident of some kind, or I was picking up like that is in having an illness right now or something like that. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is coming in now. I feel like the Page of Cups has enlightened this energy with what this energy has done. And so now the Ace of Cups is coming in saying, hey, here is another gift from the universe. Here's another gift from God. And it's because of what, this is something outside of you that you don't, that you don't need to work for. This could be someone like even doing a GoFundMe page or something for someone that's been suddenly in a real, you know, shocking problem or whatever. Or it could be something like whatever this couple did was illegal, and now the information has come in and the universe is righting this wrong. Because this is saying something about health, wealth, and happiness is the gift that you have a chance to get. Whatever you lost here, you will have back. God has your back, is what's coming up. And then this is, okay, here's the gift now. This information has come out. Now that you have the information and you know what's really going on, you're able now to, you know, you're going to be able to take action. And the universe is handing you this cup. And this is usually saying that, you know, you're overflowing with health, wealth, and abundance because you've got the coin here. And you also have that your loved ones are safe. What you love, that if it's a business or something like that, it's going to be safe. You're going to get through this. This energy is like the age of Aquarius. It's going to be different from how it was before, but it's going to be better actually, because if here you thought everything was all, the words that are coming up are hunky-dory, and it wasn't hunky-dory, then now that you have the real information and you know what was going on, the external forces, what the F happened has come out now. The shift has hit the fan. And you're going to get the information regarding exactly what happened and who is involved, all that kind of energy. Yes, and then the Magician comes in, and the Magician is pointing to the heavens, you know, the representing God, and pointing down to earth. So whatever the energy, this movement that you're making, this decision that you're taking, is going to bring the magic back in, and things that you have all the tools you need, and they're on the bench there. You're going to need to use the tools that are at your disposal, but the universe and God are handing you those tools so that you have what you need to right the wrong, or empower your family if you have someone that's ill. All that energy, and you have support both on the planet and like in the 3D and in the 5D. And so this is like going to upgrade your life from this situation now that you have been handed this cup from this Page of Cups. Victory. Yeah. That's good. So this action, you notice that this King of Wands here, this could be someone that has decided that they are going to take action, and it could have been accidental. Whatever action they took has provided you with the information. It made it come out, and the Queen is angry with him. Off with your head. You know, what did you do? Now we're not going to receive what we were trying to receive, and these people are going to receive that. Or It could be, again, a struggle within yourself, a battle that you're having with yourself, but the victory is yours. And the reason why that you're able to be victorious, if you notice, I keep saying she, I always get this as a feminine energy, even though, like kind of Joan of Arc, you know, like a female warrior. That's the energy you get. Doesn't have to be, but that's the energy I'm getting. You're victorious, and you have like 6 wands here, and that represents action. And you notice like 2 of the wands here, there's people here that want to follow you, like they recognize that you're a leader in whatever this was, for justice or to get through this, or maybe it was something where you had someone that was ill in your family and you went and found the answer for how to fix it, or something like, it's something innovative and the reason why you were able to be successful is you were able to rein in your emotions, and instead of like laying in bed at night saying, what the F happened, you're doing something about it. You're taking action now. So this represents, quite often, this card can represent your commitments, like marriage, relationships, etc. And that's like kind of with that, you know, this part started off with this cup of love and now we're talking about, this is about marriage, it's about commitments in that. And the Queen of Wands is quite often, of all the queens, she's the one that's most likely to be separated or divorced. And then we have, there's some sort of transformation happening here. This is all about, it could be there was a death in the family, or, you know, and that's how it came out, like a will came in and some information came out. It could be, you know, this is about shared resources between them and maybe between so this could be a partnership in a business, something like that. And then this is about not being able to really find the answers, being left out in the cold. But what it's feeling like, this is a card of tactics, so it's feeling like maybe you were getting the answers from the wrong place and you prayed about it and God's come in and sent someone else in that can give you the true answers. This could also represent, if this couple is fighting, that one of them is moving on, or both of them are moving on to a different relationship. And it could be this couple. There's so many scenarios here. But this Virgo energy is like wanting things to be back in order and clean. Like it's going to be clean cut. There's not going to be any more of this energy of not knowing what's going on. And then we have the people who are worried about their reputation, and or if your reputation has been ruined, the magician is coming in and like waving his magic wand, and you know, miraculously you're going to be, you know, your reputation's restored, because what's coming up is because you, in that situation, because you didn't sink to the same level as whatever was happening, these forces you didn't have control over. Instead, you went inward and really got in touch with your emotions and got in touch with what, you know, dealing with this childhood energy. And it's what this is saying, you behaved in a really mature manner, and that's put you in the leadership role. If you would have given into these external forces and allowed yourself to, you know, sink to their level and be like, you know, an eye for an eye energy, a tooth for a tooth. That says that in the Old Testament, but then Christ came in, Jesus Christ comes in and says, you know, chill out. let God deal with it. Really, it's, you know, that's the energy I'm picking up. So it's an interesting reading. I'm going to clarify it with my oracle. If you are enjoying this reading so far, please like and comment, and thank you, because that really empowers me to build my channel. I'm using my oracle, which is Tales from the Vector, and this is from courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I began painting 64 paintings The first ones were of dragons, great big dragons on 3 by 4 foot canvases. And I started in 2007. I completed the 64th painting in 2020. And it was right, like, at this time, like, and that's what the energy I was picking up a little bit, is because when those mandates and everything came in, it changed everybody's life in profound ways. And for some of us, if we were like live events orientated, like seminars, etc., was the way I earned my living. And you couldn't do that anymore, and it was bang, it was overnight, boom, just like that. A lot of people experience that kind of energy, people with restaurants and, you know, anyone to hotels, all of that. It was, you know, it caused a lot of financial hardship for a lot of people. And then looking back on it now, it's kind of like you can see the effect that it had, and you know, recovering from it, it's coming up okay. It's going to be okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, but this is all about external forces like that are out of your control, and this is the internal forces. So maybe someone wasn't actually ill, but it was because of that, you know, that plague energy that I came up with here. It could be something like that. And so the energy coming in from my oracle, I'm going to use that energy to clarify. And I have, you know, these cards have been out at psychic fairs and seminars for several years, but I didn't have the whole deck back then. And actually what happened is, in that situation with, in 2020, I was able, that gave me the time, because I wasn't traveling and I wasn't going, you know, doing all these seminars, that I was able to get the deck finished. So it can be like you look back on it later and you think, oh, okay, so let's take a look at this and see it. It could, you know, this is a general collective reading, so take what works for you and let the rest go. I have the cards that I have right now are numbered because they have the numbers of the paintings at on my website at talesfromthevector.com. So that's TAILS. So you can go there if you want to see the paintings, and just there's some information there that you may find empowers you. The first card out, I'm taking off the bottom of the deck, and we have the Hermit. And so this is clarifying this energy of like, and yeah, moving off like into calmer shores now. So the Hierophant is actually an authority figure, and it speaks about the authority in both the spiritual world, bringing that down to earth, like for there to be like an energy of calm, you know, calm down. And if there's an illness, that, you know, miracles do happen, that kind of energy, like a fairness. And the Hierophant is like about traditional structure, like from the Pisces and energy, and the Aquarius energy is about the new coming in. And so it's about observing and then experimenting, you know, okay, what's going to work now? And so this is a new energy that can actually breathe life into, you know, into your marriage, into your business, etc. And now if you're going to have to do it a different way, but this is saying you have a strong foundation, so you would be able to, you know what success is. You'll be successful again. And then we have, yeah, the falling star. This is the energy of falling in love and being in love with what you do and what you love to do. This is unfettered, so you can still love yourself. You can still love life. You can still move forward and have, like, it's coming up, have faith that things will work out in the end and that things are going to get better. And then the Sun is here, clarifying this Five of Swords energy. So it's basically saying that, you know, the universe has your back and God has always been there, and you are part of God's plan, and your unique qualities are needed right now to empower other people to be able to move past this energy also. The guiding star is the energy of making sure you use your intuition. So it's saying that the queen, like the Queen of Pentacles, is using her intuition to be able to know what to do next, because it's a situation that she has never been through before. And so that's talking about using that intuition and prayer and meditation. And then we have Capricorn here. So the King of Pentacles is like, I really feel like this is a male, masculine energy of being ambitious, and also someone that has a lot of responsibility. So maybe could be responsible for earning the income to be able to keep the family going, or making the decisions that need to be made if it's a business that you need to have. And the King of Pentacles is very good at business and very good at seeing opportunities, and if there are challenges, being able to see the possibilities within those challenges and be able to it's saying also, like, he's someone that gives good advice. He's someone that people go to have, okay, what should I do energy. We have the Earth star coming in. This is the manifester. So the sun, this is the happiest card in the deck. So it's shining happiness, and it's also shining the spotlight on what the issue really is. And it's strengthening, excuse me, I've got the hiccups now. It's strengthening your foundation to be able to manifest after this hiccup. Okay, what it's saying is this is just a hiccup. It's not going to be like this forever. Keep going. You have a strong foundation here. Yeah. Once you become more neutral to this situation and you realize that many people are going through this, because we moved into the age of Aquarius. And who would have thought, because like in the old days, like when all the songs, the age of Aquarius, and it was supposed to be so beautiful, and there was a lot of hippies singing about love, and I think a lot of people expected, in 2020 that we would have 2020 vision, but this information came in, this Page of Cups came in, showing us that, the age of Aquarius isn't all sunshine. The age of Aquarius is having to take responsibility for the world, because we have, as we get older, we have a responsibility to the generations coming up, that we leave them with a better world than what we had when we grew up. So that's that energy coming in. Disruption, yeah. What is fun for some is not fun for everyone. That's for sure. Some people made a lot of money in 2020 because of this disruption. And some people really, like if you had, a business like a restaurant or in the entertainment industry at a smaller level, like smaller businesses, this really complicated a lot of things, like for a lot of people. And it went all the way from the top to the bottom, like, just, and the fear it caused and all of the energy that went into it, all of that. So it's basically saying the age of Aquarius is not all sunshine. It's about this responsibility energy. And then we have clarifying. So that's the what ifs. So, this is saying this is just a disruption. It's just a hiccup. It's funny because my hiccups are gone now, so that's good. And then we have the ego is a karmic space that we can all fall into. And it's saying you want to keep your ego in check. Yeah. So, and it's on the external forces. So a lot of the energies of the people that were doing really well, they ran with it. And so the discrepancy between the people that were really suffering from the energy of 2020 and in comparison to the people that were flourishing because of the energy, there was a real big difference between the two. Jealousy, yes. And what's coming up here is sibling rivalry. So this is a karmic space that we can fall into. And this is sitting right on the King of Wands. So this action, whatever this action that I feel like this is a couple took, it was his idea, but she went along with it. And now And it wasn't based, it was based on egos, and okay, we have a chance now, let's go for it. And it's not working out the way they thought. And hey, if that was back in 2020, what is it? We're coming to this reading is for the beginning of December 2025. So if for 5 years it seemed like, hey, this has worked out really good, and then bang, nope. This is energies that are coming in. And what I was also picking up is this wand represents a tree. And trees have very deep roots, and they also have the descendants, the offshoots. And so this is talking about the ancestors are pushing for this to come out. Whatever happened here. So there's errant energies here. There's a bunch of energy coming in from across the veil where the ancestors want this cleaned up. And then we have the star. So, okay, this card can represent someone. The star is the energy of, like, it's being innocent, and people possibly leaving you out in the cold because they thought you were naive. They didn't recognize that you didn't want to participate in this energy, so you didn't. And they were probably like, whoa, how stupid can you be? This is our opportunity to, really make a shift here and make some coin. And so you were left out. This could be left out of a business decision. This could be left out of a family, decision. This could represent perhaps someone passed and crossed the veil during this time. Or, it doesn't have to just be about that energy. But I'm picking, just because this card, just the red bell is just telling me that plague energy. And then we have the tower. So, and this represents, in my oracle, the tower is divorce. But the worst divorce is from source. And I feel like some of the energy that happened with these external forces, and it's coming all the way from the bottom to the top and back down again. This energy, there was a lot of people that were so triggered. They did a lot, there's a lot happening on the planet. And because people were mandated and not able to travel and not able, being isolated, it changed a lot of people. And in some ways it changed for the better. I'd rather be better than bitter. And for other people, I'd rather be bitter than better. That's kind of the energy, the difference between the two. And justice is coming in. So on some level, I'm getting this was a test from the Most High. If you were given even more power and more ability to reign over other people, how will you behave? Are you going to, and this is also, redemption is kind of if there was karma involved here, that this justice is going to be served on the spiritual. That's what the Hierophant is coming in and saying. It is, spiritual court is in order, and this will, because the ancestors will not rest until this is rectified. And that could be, it could take generations, but it will be righted at some point. And that's the energy from the heaven down to earth. And then, we have, yes, foolish. So this is right on this victory card. So this is saying these people that took, the fool goes on their journey for a cycle. And then when the cycle comes to the end, and that's what this is saying, this cycle came to an end. And this information that came in now comes in from God with a return of, this disruption is now over. And now the wheel of fortune is turning and destiny is turning. And the people that took this action were not in alignment with God's plan. And they were not, that they were manifesting at the expense of others. And they had expectations that they could do this because nothing, they were getting away with it for a long enough time. But now, when you're the Fool, you can either anticipate what's happening, or you can expect victory, or you can expect things to happen in a certain way. And that's the journey, going on a foolish journey, instead of anticipating what's going to happen, because God, the fool that is going in the direction against God is going to end up not with the result that they expected. But someone who is traveling in the way with God, you might have had to wait a long time, where it seemed like it wasn't just. But now it's the information is starting to come out, and you will find out what the answers are. We see that a lot in the world right now. A lot of, every day on the news, there's like all sorts of shift happening in the news. And, a lot of what was happening is coming out now. And this, though, has been happening in the world forever and ever. It's a never-ending cycle. So it's kind of like a test that the universe puts us through, and that God puts us through, that what would you do if you have power? And should you be given more power? That's kind of the energy that I'm picking up. And this is like with Virgo, and Virgo likes things clean cut and clean. And, God, cleanliness is next to godliness is the energy I'm picking up. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading. It was kind of like had to really there's so much information coming in with this. It could involve so many people. I feel like this is a reading that was less about a particular family or whatever, but more of an energy of what's happening around the world. So I hope you've also enjoyed. I enjoyed sharing this with you. I hope that you enjoy it. Consider liking and commenting to empower me to build my channel. And if you resonate, consider subscribing. And this this is for the beginning of December, and the next time I come out will be with another reading for you, Virgo, will be around mid-December. Bye for now.